Welcome to What the It's like the Daily Show, if by show you mean enema. Let's meet tonight's panel, starting with the seat farthest from me. Making his triumphant comeback after the conclusion of the rec league hockey season, it's extremely minor league hockey player and amateur artist Bill Morgan. If dry wit was a lathe, carpenters would stick their wood on him. Next to him, it's former Starbucks and Pete barista and current midget cage fighter James Ilg. If penetrating insight was a guitar, rockers would fiddle with his G-string. In the middle chair, it's nurse and suburban squirrel Frankie J. She's so sweet, she gives sugar cavities. Finally, it's salesman extraordinaire Scott Birch. In certain parts of Wyoming, they'll pay you $10 each time you bring in his pelt. Issue number 1. If you have too many choices of lover, will you end up alone under your bed covers? British investigators looked at the dynamics of choice in speed dating and made a surprising discovery. The more options you have for choosing a lover, the higher the chance you'll end up with no one. Large numbers of candidates was not a problem in and of itself, but when candidates were too dissimilar, speed daters became confused by many conflicting factors and often failed to choose anyone. The study, published in the British journal Biology Letters, tracked 1,868 female and 1,870 male participants at 84 commercial speed dating events. For comment, we turn to the President of Turkey. Mr. President, your thoughts?
Ey ahali! Sizin için buradayım. Oylarınızı bana verirseniz hepinize bir araba, mazota para yok, yeme yok. Ey vatandaşlarım! Sizin için varım! Sizin için!
Yeah. Well, I think he had a problem picking a turkey, but doesn't he look like Saddam Hussein? Yeah, anyway. All right, Bill, I'm going to go to you the first question. Are you buying this?
Lucky me. Am I buying this?
Yeah, you think this is true?
The turkeys?
No, whether or not having too many choices is a bad thing.
Phew. You know, first of all, I got to point out that most of your source material comes from British newspapers, and I hope that we don't end up with, like, bad teeth as a result of doing this show. But, no, I think, you know, I kind of limit my choices. You know, it's either one-armed albinos or Aborigine midgets or, you know, maybe both. So, for me, choice is not really that big an issue.
Well, but do you still end up with somebody, or do you still end up alone?
Well, even when I'm alone, I'm with somebody.
Who is that?
Mr. Hand. Rosie.
Ah, okay. Well, all right. I'll go to you, James. How about you? What are you buying this?
Well, you know, Jim, I actually dug into this story a little bit more and kind of found that when they polled the male guys, the guys, all of them said, yes, I will have sex with this woman. And it was the females who were the picky ones. So really it boils down to, your same old sex drive. That's it.
Okay. All right. But it wasn't sex. It was just dating.
Yeah. That's what you think.
I don't know. I've never been speed dating before. But, you know, unless, of course, you count the snatch and grab. But that's besides the point. Frankie?
What did he say about grabbing a snatch? What?
You buying this?
I definitely would not be able to keep track of too many people at the same time dating. No, I would keep it very narrow so that I can bring out the best in that person.
Okay, but see, that presumes there's a person as opposed to you have to make a choice between people.
I see.
Or for traditional men. Mm-hmm. We're in the Bay Area, you know, men, women, you know, whatever. But you see where they're coming from. I mean, if you have too many choices, you have difficulty focusing.
I would absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, Scott, you were voted by your high school class as most likely to die alone. Yet you managed to get married. So, are you proof of this conclusion, or are you the exception that proves the rule?
I am the exception to the rule, as you are the exception that proves the rule. I buy this story with the dollar that I just stole out of Frankie's purse. And I'll tell you something right now. You are surrounded by few women, and you are alone. So, you know, that's how I would look at it. You managed to be alone, and you're surrounded by, you know, just a couple women here or there. Maybe they're women, I'm not really sure. They wear dresses, but they might be, you know, they look like women.
The dress rack doesn't count.
Well, you know,
Yeah, but
regardless, but you're still alone. I mean, and you know, someone like him who's surrounded by plenty of very eligible, good-looking guys, and he's still alone. So you know, it's, you know, I think it all depends on the person. And in the study, they did poll women that were around the age of 34 years of age. Their clock's ticking. They're a little desperate. They've waited for a long time. Don't want to settle. You know, so they have trouble, and they end up by themselves.
they're desperate. They don't want to settle. Isn't that an oxymoron?
Well, no, because here's the thing: when they're younger and they're really attractive, they're surrounded by all these guys, and they don't make any choices. And then because they've waited so long to find a guy, now they think they shouldn't settle because they've waited so long, and they deserve to get what they should get. So they end up being alone because
You know, I don't really understand that, but then again, I don't understand women. So maybe there's a correlation.
if you met one, you might understand them.
That's true. That's true.
Or not.
All right, let's see here.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Just
that's
out of
no real
curiosity.
guarantee.
It depends on what.
I'll throw
bracelet
this
they've
out to
got
the
on
group.
that day.
Could this be the reason why there are large numbers of people who are single in large cities as opposed to in the rural areas?
Well, let's see here. Population of 30 town, yeah. The maximum you have would be 30 people. Yeah, population of San Francisco, 800,000 or so.
That's a bad question.
I think the numbers kind of add up that way, yeah.
Could it be the reason why there's a large percentage of unattached people in large cities versus rural areas?
I think it's a non sequitur. I think that you have to take into account that perhaps people that are shallow with lack of understanding and intelligence maybe perhaps move to a large city.
Okay. Well, no, you think so? Like the crazy people go to the large cities?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, how many real San Franciscans or true Californians actually live in California? They're usually all from somewhere else.
Oh, you got a point there, right? But okay, let's see here. So, anyways, but they use speed dating as the basis for this test. I'll just throw it out. I'll go to you, James. Do you think speed dating results are a good indication for dating in general?
I guess if you're a guy, yeah, because it's all visual.
And speed dating does not count you running from the cops with a chick locked in the trunk of your car.
Oh, well, in that case.
That's the smash and grab.
Dating.
Oh, gotcha.
That's the
Snatch
snatch and grab.
Snatch and grab.
That costs $50 more.
Yeah, there
I
you go.
think you've reversed that, but okay. Whatever.
Yeah, Bill, do you think speed dating is indicative of dating in general?
Yes, for a certain chunk of the male population, the dates go very quickly. They end after half an hour.
No, I don't think that's what they mean by speed dating.
Oh,
That's
been my experience.
that's my date. That's what I date. My date.
Yeah. I've never had the pleasure of the speed date, so I'm unprepared to comment.
Okay.
In his day, speed dating was a Conestoga wagon.
All right.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
you want to throw down? We get the old versus the large going here.
With that, we'll move to segment issue number 2. Is your life an epic fail if you still manage to score some tail? While the economy has hit men harder than women, there is one area where men rule: in bed. An article at Slate.com discusses sexual economics, which is oddly not a euphemism for prostitution. According to this theory, women decide when consensual sex starts in a relationship, but now the price of that is currently really low. Theories about why this is the case include the easy access to pornography and the pill, but also the imbalance between successful young men versus successful young women in places such as college campuses and large cities. Studies have shown that where women outnumber men, it tends to lead to a more sexually permissive culture. Where men have easy access to sex, they are less likely to motivated to make something of themselves. But you know who doesn't have anything to prove? This guy. Bill, what did I tell you about swapping out your personal home videos for the production videos?
You know how long I've been looking for that blue suit?
I don't know.
And this guy's got it. It's crazy.
All right. So I'm gonna start with you, Frankie, since you're the only woman on this panel. At least, as opposed to dressing like a woman, Scott, that doesn't count.
Thank you.
You buying this?
No,
You're not buying this?
not at all.
Women still rule the roost?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, you get to pick the position.
Right?
You're the one that gets to say how long it lasts.
Right?
Right?
I'll take your word for it.
Huh.
or else.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're paying for it, then you pay by the hour, right?
So I've been told.
Yeah. Well, right, Scott?
Hmm?
Oh, there you go. That's pleading the fifth.
Absolutely.
James, you buying this?
Men ruling the bed. Well, yeah, nice try, but I don't think so. I'm with Frankie on this. Yeah.
Okay. So you don't know of lots of women who are smart, intelligent, have a lot going, beautiful, have a lot going for them that go out with douchebaggy guys?
No, but I'm trying. I'm searching.
You're trying to be the douchebaggy guy? Okay. This is for young men.
Oh, yeah.
Men in their 20s.
That
Yeah,
definitely
this is okay.
cancels me out.
Bill, buying it?
Yeah, I'm buying it. It's just, if I read the article correctly, it's a question of numbers. And this woman doesn't want you. There's 3 more over there who might. So, makes perfect sense to me.
All right. Okay. Now, Scott, what can I tell you? I mean, you spent several years in a women's prison and still managed to get through it by eating alone and not being touched. Do you accept the underlying assumptions of this story?
I do. In this one thing that was in the article was talking about how few males are left on college campuses, and they don't really show up. They have bad grades. They don't have jobs. Everything else. I think it's come down to where we've been eliminated, and you know what? I think that guys are just okay with that. I mean, what's wrong with being a young guy and you don't really have to do very much but be a douchebag and women throw a premium tail at you? To me, that sounds like a movie from the 80s, but whatever. I mean, that sounds, that's all I'm saying. I mean, so I don't know. They're not going to complain, and, that's how it's going to go.
So why do you, I'll just throw this out to the table. Why do you think there is this imbalance?
I mean, legitimate answer would say is guys don't care, whatever. But, so, you've had years of social engineering, and that's where it's at now. Now men just kind of are supposed to just shut up and do their thing. And they're happy about it.
All right. So let me ask you, is this a possible theory? Since we're fighting 2 wars now, there are, however many 100,000s of men overseas. Could that be an explanation for this?
Do you think Maverick and Goose had a tough time getting tail, man? Come on, did you see the movie? They're gonna have no problem getting tail. That's no problem at all. They're good.
Not when they're on the aircraft carrier.
Oh, yeah, the Iceman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, they're in the Navy.
It's
so,
a new military now, Jim.
That's right.
Yeah,
There's
exactly. They
people
can all
with
be their own
bumpy
tail
parts.
now.
It's,
What goes on in the foxhole stays in the foxhole.
Seriously.
Right.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Don't ask.
Is
Don't
foxhole
What happens in
Don't
front of
ask,
the
don't
porthole
tell.
stays in front of the porthole.
All right.
Well, that's why you joined the Navy, right, James? Because the slogan, join the Navy, have friends up the butt.
Oh.
That's exactly why.
All right. We're at the end of the segment. So, which paint pigments are the best to inhale? Bill Morgan will tell us after our next break. Issue number 3. If she's hot and you're not, will your relationship be shot? Research has revealed that relationships in which the woman is more attractive than the man may be doomed to failure. On the flip side, having a handsome husband or boyfriend is no barrier to relationship success. British researchers at Stirling, Chester, and Liverpool University noted the phenomenon when studying whether we tend to pair up with those who are similarly attractive to ourselves. Relationships between the Beauty and the Beast tended to last for only a few months, where relationships between Prince Charming and Ugly Betty's lasted longer. Researchers speculate that women control whether the relationship continues, and pretty women tend to prefer short-term relationships since they can easily move on or move up. Other theories postulate the relationships end due to the jealous behavior from the woman's less photogenic partner, while the plain Janes may just have to make do with what they have, hence the longer relationships. For more, we turn to our relationship correspondent, Sally Belcher. Sally, your thoughts? Well, when Sally turns 18, there's going to be a lot of fellas chasing after her, right, guys?
That's very material.
There you go.
Oh,
Put a ring on that. All right, Frankie.
Put a ring on it
I'm going to start with
someplace.
you. Let's see. You buying this theory?
No.
Why not?
No, because who would want to Oh dear.
Don't worry, I'll let you unseize your brain.
Thank you very much.
James, you buying this?
Brain seizure? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, sure. Why not?
And because?
Oh, there's a two-part question.
Yeah, no, try to elaborate. Yeah.
Because.
Oh, there you go. Bill.
I like that because it's deep.
Yeah.
Very much
Well,
so.
apparently, since my
lineal.
my co-panel here is all had their bowl of stupid for breakfast this morning. Here's what I'll say: I'm absolutely buying this 100% because if you are a guy and you're dating a really hot chick and she's a little too hot for you, all of your friends are going to try and bang her. So it comes down to where you kind of have an animal kind of trying to hold on to its plate of food, and all your buddies are kind of saying, "Hey, man, let me come check it out. Let me come check it out." You know, so that's the thing. So he's gonna be an ass, and that's how it's gonna go. And they're gonna break it up because the guy can't handle it because he's playing like he's never been there before.
So you have friends that swim in your pool or try to swim in your pool?
If they try and swim in the pool, they usually drown. But then again, I have very few women in which people would want to jump into my pool for. So,
Wait a minute, hang on. Let me try to wrap my brain around that. I'll come back. All right. So if it's true that more attractive women have shorter relationships, could this be a function of age rather than looks? I'll start with you, Bill.
I'm a little offended by that, Jim.
Of the women. Of the women.
Right, okay. Gotcha. Well, it's a thing of nature. Age and fertility and whatnot, and there's just something animalistic about the younger women that scream, "Screw me,"
Right.
because I'm ready. I gotta pop one out.
Okay.
So, in terms of keeping the population going, they've got to go out and do it with as many people as possible, and God love them.
Okay. All right. So James,
So-
Frankie, you have anything to that?
It's, yeah.
you guys are going to demonstrate that theory right now,
I'm
are
just
you?
waiting to see if your brains are
Really?
receiving that.
Terrible.
That was a
Terrible
completely
if you did
different
that right
story
now.
about demonstrating.
Oh my God.
All right, we got less than a minute left for this
Well,
segment.
sorry.
Don't worry about it.
They're the white
Now,
sauce.
Scott, you were voted the 2000 Cellmate of the Year by Playpen Magazine, the Playboy magazine for the incarcerated set. So you have no worries about this, right?
No, absolutely. I look at it this way. I will always have, since our educational standards are so bad, I will always have a lot of criminal men who will want me and lust after me. So I'm good.
Okay. All right. Let's go to issue number 4. Can looking at a loved one reduce pain as much as cocaine? Does the image of your soulmate make your discomfort abate? A study from Stanford University finds that the image of a romantic partner dulls activity in the pain processing areas of the brain to the same degree as narcotics such as cocaine. Researchers subjected the brains of love-struck students to the MRI scans as they focused on photographs of partners while varying levels of heat pain were applied to their skin. Researchers found, on average, pain was reduced by between 36 and 44%, with intense discomfort eased by up to 13%. Another study also found that women who held onto the hands of their boyfriends while undergoing pain also reduced pain. But you know who won't be feeling pain anymore? This guy.
Kyle.
Wow. That's. I guess he won't be feeling much of anything for a while. But nice to see Justin Bieber's before he became famous videos, right? All right. Okay. James, I'm going to start with you. You buying this?
Yeah, sure. Why not? And not because.
Not because.
No, I mean, they should have done a study on the reverse. The effects of adding pain when staring at a picture of a loved one. I think they would have come up with some similar results, though.
Well, is it adding pain or is it just pain from a different area?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So could it be that perhaps that the pain that they're inflicting now is somehow feels less because you're feeling pain from another quarter?
Yeah, area. Yeah, segment, yes.
Bill, you buying this?
Wait, what the hell is this buying stuff? That is the stupidest ass question I've ever heard. Buying what?
You agree with this theory?
Oh, all right.
That's my default opening question. I got to work with
Yeah,
my
I
guy.
noticed that.
Yeah,
I just thought I'd give you some crap about it. I think that if I read this thing correctly, all these studies were done on chicks. Is that right?
No, I think it was for the hand holding. It was just women,
Right.
but for the pain with the MRI and looking at your picture, it was both men and women. College
Interesting.
students, being more precisely.
Interesting. Okay, well, I thought it was the chicks. I always wasn't there also a part of this where they put the guy who was holding her hand behind a curtain?
Yeah, it was one was holding the hand of their boyfriend. The other one was a total strange dude holding her hand.
I think it would have been a much more interesting test to see if she could tell whose hand it was.
Apparently, they did. Apparently, they were able to. That's how they know because they experienced
That's
less
why
pain.
they're in academia and I'm not.
So, Frankie, what do you think?
You know what I think? I think that if this is really true and it's really going to work, then I think the military should adopt this to help train our guys if they get picked up and captured and tortured to mentally picture this beautiful loved one in front of them to reduce their pain.
Well, you're a nurse, right? In your part-time job, right? Mm-hmm. All right. You think this could replace anesthetic?
Not totally, no.
Not totally?
Oh my God, no.
So if you went to the dentist instead of Novocaine, would you say, "Can I look at my husband instead"?
No way. Man, shoot it in, baby.
So looking at your husband's image will not make you numb. How about holding his hand?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, James, what do you think? You think they should use this in hospitals?
I think she should hold her husband's hand a little bit more often, I think.
Not at the dentist, though.
Oh, not the dentist. Oh, well, maybe you should hold your dentist's hand, I guess.
Oh, no, I want them to be able to have all the dexterity they need while they're in my mouth.
That's true. Scott, you're a masochist yourself. So would looking at a picture of your loved one reduce your pain, enhance your pain, or both?
Probably enhance my pleasure pain. See, I'm not buying this story, and the simple fact is that if I'm sitting in an emergency room and I've done something horrible to myself or I've made some epic mistake, seeing a picture of my wife in front of me, I would not feel love and comfort, and I would not feel that. All I would hear would be my wife's voice in my head saying, "Why did you do that? Why do you do stupid things? I told you not to put the soldering iron too close to your junk. Why won't you listen to me?" That's what I would hear over and over again. I would hear that sense of downtrodden me and beat me. But since I'm a masochist, I guess I'm into that.
So it's both pleasure and pain.
Exactly. So it's a pain to get my pleasure.
Oh, there you go. Okay. All right. So what's it like to be one of Charlie Sheen's sex goddesses? Frankie J will tell us what she did over the President's Day weekend after our next break. That was the cause of my rash. Oh, by the way, welcome to the last segment. We are trying a new segment today. It's called the Build a Joke segment. I have in my card 5 cards numbered 1 through 5, and we'll pick a category, and our contestants will try to make a joke out of it. All right, Madam Floor Director, I have numbers 1 through 5. Please give me a number.
Number 4.
Number 4. It is number 4. Number 4. Okay. Number 4 is too thin. So I'll start up. You know you're too thin when size 0 doesn't manage to hang on you and just falls to the ground. All right, so I'll go to, who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay, Scott, you know you're too thin if?
You are scared of a drinking straw.
And how would that be?
Oh, yeah, you think you're going to fall in.
You mean fall through the drinking straw?
No, fall into the drinking straw.
Like, okay, so you can use a drinking straw like a water slide?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know you're too thin?
Mm-hmm.
Has that ever happened to you before?
What do you think? What do you really think? A coal mine is too narrow for me to get through. What the hell's wrong with you?
It's a rhetorical question. Let me introduce you to the rhetorical question.
We don't do rhetorical here.
Frankie.
Well, you might be too thin
If?
if the shark below you sees you as a floating stick.
So that's how you would. That's how anorexics managed to survive in the movie Jaws.
That's right, exactly. And in all those surfing movies.
But did they manage to float in the movies?
Oh, yeah. Even though the body fat weight, helps you stay buoyant, you can just float on top. No sharks won't bother you.
Is it
then.
because you're so thin you don't break the surface tension of the water?
Oh, there you go. Surfactant always plays a part, doesn't it, guys?
Wow, my head's gonna explode.
Wrap your brain around that, big guy.
Not gonna happen. I already forgot about it.
James, you know
All right.
you're too thin if?
You know you too thin that if you're sitting on the toilet, falling in is a concern of yours.
No, that is true. That is true. Even if you put the seat down, right?
Even if you put the seat down.
And you use the potty training seat, right?
We're not interested in your daily
Way, yeah, I
rituals,
know.
Jim.
You're,
What do you have in your house for a single man?
I'm a
You
thin
have
guy.
crazy potty training seats in your house? And you're
I'm a
a single
thin
guy?
man. What am I? I'm afraid of
Are
drowning.
you still
He
working on
keeps
it?
the potty training stuff along
Yeah,
with the
everyone at
mask
home
with the
check
zippers
Megan's
on it.
lock.
You don't
Close
wanna
over
know.
here.
You just don't want to
Bill,
know.
what do you got?
Why, guy? What do you got? Thin is the operative term for this particular segment.
Well,
But that's me. You know,
Yes.
you're too thin if there was an old saying, you can never be too rich or too thin. But I would posit that if you're too thin to pick up a large bag of money, then in fact you are in fact both too thin and too rich.
Oh, there we go. So what if you're just weak?
Same difference.
And so you're weak, but you're not really rich because you can't pick up the bag of nickels, right?
Okay.
Who wants to pick up nickels?
Who knows? Exactly. Well, if you're poor enough, Scott,
Yeah, Scott.
because you pick up nickels
But
one
you're
at a time.
dreaming. No, but you're dreaming up a bag of money. I'm gonna dream up Benjamins, kid. I'm gonna dream up a lot of money, not just some nickels. I'm gonna dream up a lot of money.
What's a lot of money to you?
Huh?
What's a lot of money to you?
Depends on the circumstances, but I would say $5 is a lot of money to me.
Yeah, you know you're poor. $5 is a lot of money to you.
True. True.
Is there a poor card in there, Jim?
No, but I'm just kind of
Just checking.
Okay. Well, it's just like so. So I was thinking, like, if you know you're too thin, when supermodels think call you skinny.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Right. You also know you're too skinny if anorexics are inspired by you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Or you inspire anorexics to eat. That's.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
Ooh,
Gotcha.
yeah.
There you go.
Or
Yeah.
you might be too thin if you're only thin on your driver's license that's 5 years old.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
So,
You're too thin if seamsters just try and thread you.
oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Or if you mean if you can fit through the eye of the needle thin?
No.
No, you know, not that.
No.
Okay.
That was stupid.
Or
Yeah, Jim.
skinny.
We're going for jokes here, Jim. Come on,
Skinny
please.
Or how about you're too thin if skinny jeans are fat on you or baggy on you?
Ooh, yes.
If you mistake your skinny jeans for relaxed fit.
So you make fashion jokes and you have a toilet training potty thing in your house and you're a single guy?
What can I do?
Yeah, seriously.
What can I do?
I don't
He's
want to know
got
what
it
you
all.
can do.
You know what's thin here are your prospects, Jim. I'm saying,
Well, yes. But
I'm sure there's certain segments of Craigslist
Well, look
where
at
you're
this
very
way.
popular.
Well, no, but look at this
But
way.
still.
At least you know hardly any women are going to come to his house, so he won't end up alone.
all right.
That's true. That's
All right. Thank you very much. We
You're
are done
welcome.
with the show. Thank you very much, Bill. Excellent. James, awesome. Frankie, great. Scott, you disgust me. What can I say?
I apologize for nothing.
Thank you very much for watching the show. Later.